Hello, everyone out there, and welcome to another episode of Uplifting Conversations. I am Justin Ponder.
And I'm Deanna Singh.
And how are you, Deanna Singh?
I am wonderful. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm super well as well because today we get to talk about the platinum rule. Say it with me, the platinum rule. Yay.
The platinum rule.
So, kind of the subtitle of this is why treating everyone the same is a problem. And it's something that we encounter a lot. And I think a lot of fine folks do it because they think that's a good thing. Like it's the way out of showing favoritism is I will just treat everyone the same. Yes, and also there's a fine point that we would like to discuss about how you can take that to the next level, how you can treat people fairly by also treating them differently. Kind of makes your mind bend a little bit. So, you ready to chat it up, Deanna?
I am always ready, in particular about this one, because this was one of those ones that I didn't come to until much later in life. I remember very clearly, in every elementary classroom, every elementary school teacher I had, I- proudly saying to myself, what the golden rule is, right? And being so proud of the golden rule and still being very proud of the golden rule because it is a good rule. And I remember it wasn't until I was an adult that I even heard this concept of the platinum rule. And at first I was like, wait, what you doing? You trying to mess with my golden rule? Because I am really, really, really into this golden rule, right?
Well, let's take a
And
step back. What
understanding,
is the golden rule?
Justin, what were you trying to test me? You trying to do an elementary school?
You heard about it so much.
It's treat everybody as you would like to be treated.
Yeah. And I think that there's a fine point there because we interpret it, it's in that word as.
Mm-hmm.
So treat everyone as you would like to be treated. What it really means is treat everyone with the degree of respect and kindness that you would also like shown back to you. But we often mistranslate it and misunderstand it. Treat everyone as you would like to be treated is treat everyone the way you would like to be treated. It's one thing I can treat you with the same level of respect as I would like to be treated, but that does not mean I will respect you the way I want respect shown to me in the very
Right.
particulars and the nuances in the form of the expression. So yeah, I'm with you. And what do you think was like the good of it? Why do you think it came to you so often?
Well, I mean, because it does put you in perspective, right? It's a really good way of thinking, even beginning the thought about empathy. So if I the phrase of put yourself in somebody else's shoes, that's one that you hear quite often, right? It's the idea of, wait, how would how would I want to be treated in this situation? What would I want somebody to say to me? How would I want some? And so all of a sudden, because we know ourselves well, and we don't want to be treated any kind of way, it gives you that sense of, okay, here's what I know my baseline is. Like, here's what I know I'm trying to achieve. Here's what I know I'm trying to ascribe to. And the assumption is, like you just said, like, we want to treat ourselves well. So if we want to treat ourselves well, we're going to treat other people well. And I think that that's kind of that's why it felt good, right? Like, of course you want to treat other people well. Of course you want to treat other people the same as you would treat yourself. And so I think that that's what it was. And I still think that that's what it is, right? It doesn't come from a bad place, not at all. It comes from a place of kindness, a place of respect, of love.
Mhm.
That is the core of it. So, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. But the platinum rule, wait a
Oh,
minute.
tell us about it. What's that?
Well, just so I got to this moment, right? Again, in adulthood. So if somebody's sitting out there and you're like, uh-oh, they're coming for my golden rule. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're coming to give you another gift. Just think about it as you already have this treasure trove of gold. We are coming to add on top of your treasure trove of gold some platinum.
Mhm.
And this platinum rule, and kind of like how you think about it, and what it looks like, and what the concept is, It's very simple, and it's really just like one word change. It's you treat others the way they want to be treated. So instead of treat others the way you would like to be treated, it's you treat others the way they would like to be treated.
And to be
And
fair, like
whoa,
the platinum rule is heavily implied in the golden rule. If we want to treat others as we want to be treated, part of how I want to be treated is I want my particular tastes, understanding, skills, goals, tasks, limitations, aspirations. If you're respecting others the way that you want to be respected, you would also understand and personalize that connection and individualize it and tailor it to them, because we don't want to be treated like we're just another cog in the machine. So the platinum rule helps differentiate, but like you said, it's not coming for the golden rule, because part of the golden rule that we often conveniently forget is treating others as they want to be treated, or treating others as we want to be treated. As we want to be treated as individuals, we want to be recognized as personalities and people who have individual tastes, so we would be doing that.
what I love about it though is that it centers other people.
Yep.
Instead of centering yourself, it centers other people. And I'm going to give you like my favorite example of this, and it always comes back to some version of this example. And actually, I'm gonna call him out on this. It was my father-in-law who really, like, made this point to me, and he didn't use the platinum rule, he it wasn't like that, but he just was kind of, like, explaining to me, right, as we were having conversation just about marriage, and he's, like, the most awesome man ever.
Shout out to
S
Pops.
Shout out to Papa D. But he was saying, he's like, Deanna, in a relationship, when you think about giving a gift, when you think about giving a gift, you are not a good gift giver if you start with giving a gift that only you would want. When you think about giving a gift, you have to start with thinking about what the other person would want.
Mhm.
Because if you center yourself, the likelihood of you making a mistake is pretty high.
Mhm.
What you have to do is you have to center the other person, like what they would like, right? So Justin and I use this as an example in a lot of the things that we teach, and we have so many funny examples. It just so happens that my birthday is this week, right? And
See how
it's a
she
no
just
gift
slid that
rule.
in there, everybody? See that?
But no gifts, right? Like we're like in a no gift. We're an experience oriented family, and so one of the things that we think about is like what experiences might the other person want. I never, ever, 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 friends, want to jump out of a plane. I am so for people who want to do that. I think that is awesome. I will be on the ground. I will take pictures for you. I'll take some video for you. I will say a prayer for you. I will do all the things, right? I do not want to be the person who is jumping out of the plane. If you give me that gift, I will thank you kindly, but I will not use it. If you give me that gift because that is something that you like to do, right? You'd be centering yourself.
Mhm.
But if you gave me something like, salsa lessons or something, right, that's like that brings me joy,
Mhm.
that's something that I like to do, then that would be centering me. You'd be using the platinum rule. And I think if you just kind of use that gift giving as one of your checks of, am I really using the golden rule or am I using the platinum rule? That's a good way to just check, to just give yourself a check, like
Yeah.
what is actually at play here.
Whose value system, whose reference of meaning are you using? And I think, of course, it's important to note, like you mentioned, the analogy of trying to put ourselves in other people's shoes. Like, of course, we know we'll never be able to do it. And two, we also know even if we're able to wiggle our feet into somebody else's shoes, it's not the same feet, and it's not the same like journey, and it's not the same walking, that we'll never fully understand someone. Humans
Mhm.
always remain a sublime mystery to each other and even to ourselves. And that's a great thing that keeps us trying to understand more and more. But I think it's the humility and the curiosity of saying, no, I will not rest on this is what I know and what I'm comfortable with. And surely everyone must love my skydiving lessons. I will give it to everyone because I love it. It's
Right.
showing that, hey, I understand Deanna likes other things other than skydiving. Let me try and figure out who she is. And we all know like those presents that somebody gave to us and it was off. We're like, I'm never going to use this on
Mhm.
its own. This thing is a weird color, or it smells strange, or I have no room for this. But we still love the gift because the spirit behind it is I worked really hard to try and think of what you would want. And the
Oh,
truest
yeah.
gifts that resonate with us are, oh my goodness, you get me. It's not the gift, it's the thought that goes behind it. You compiled everything you knew about me and my tastes and our experiences together and where I'm at in my life and where I'm trying to go. And you said, this is all it in one object or one experience. And that moment where you're like, you get me.
I wish I
It
could go
warms
grab it right now, but I literally just got a card from a friend in the mail,
my heart.
and, she's taking drawing classes, which I love, and she is or she's teaching herself, trying different drawing techniques, and she made in the card it's a beautiful card, but she made in the card all of these drawings of things that remind her of me. I will keep that
Mhm.
card forever, right? And because it's so thoughtful, right?
Yep,
She really thought about and it just makes me so happy. So it's not again, it's not like it's because she spent the time to think about what it is, like what are the things about me
yep,
that center me, right? Like in this moment of celebrating my birthday. And I think, like, a lot of times, Justin, we get the question, "Okay, well, that sounds really good. Like, I'd love to do that, but how? How do you do that?" And I think
mhm,
the birthday card is a perfect example because why was she able to do it? She was
mhm,
able to do that, one, because she's just generally awesome, but also because she has spent time building relationship.
yep,
Right? She spent time actually finding out more about me. She
mhm,
spent time earning trust. She spent time making it her business to make sure that she could learn, right? What are some of the things that actually bring Deanna joy? And that time spent is what has given her the
yeah.
ability to do something so incredibly lovely.
And even beyond the content of what the drawing was, the fact that she took time on your behalf to draw it out by hand or took
Right.
time on your behalf with you in mind to write it out by hand. And we're experiencing quite a lot of this, the importance of the platinum rule in the age of AI.
Oh
AI
yeah.
can churn out all sorts of great stuff. And think about how you would feel if the greatest speech, like if it was your birthday, a big birthday, and someone stood up and gave a speech and it brought you to tears, but the second they admitted to you, yeah, I actually had AI generate that, it feels less than, even though it's the exact same words, because it's not really the product, it is the process and it is the
Mhm.
intention behind it that I am centering you. I'm spending time, energy, and effort on you, which is very difficult. So, we're talking a lot about like gifts and personal life and birthday cards and birthday speeches and everything. Deanna, how do you see this translating to the workplace?
Well, in the workplace, there are so many opportunities to be able to practice this platinum rule. And
Mhm.
I'm glad that you mentioned the whole thing around AI because, it's on everybody's mind. AI, AI, AI. It's like you can't turn any corner without thinking or talking about it. And rightfully so. It is the biggest invention, right, of our generation. I mean, we haven't really filled out our generation. So maybe there is some other, but to date, it is
It's a big
pretty
deal.
big. It is a big deal. It's definitely a big deal. But here is one of the things that I think it's important to remember is, and this is something that I try to remind people of all of the time. As AI becomes more and more significant, more and more reality in our day to day lives, the biggest opportunity for us is to become more and more human.
Mhm.
And so if you remember that, the platinum rule is one of those skills, it's one of those talents, it's one of those, things that if you really invest some time
Mhm.
in becoming good at it, especially in the workplace, right? Where AI is making a lot of people nervous about like, what am, okay, well, AI could do this maybe faster than I can, or better than I can, or can synthesize this in a way that I couldn't do. So what is it that I bring to the table that AI can't? You know what it is? It's how you treat people. It's in building relationships. It's in this idea of things like the platinum rule. And
Mhm.
so the way that I think about it in the workplace is, what are the relationships? How are you actually utilizing this to make sure that you're pulling teams together and not pushing people apart? How do you make sure that you don't bring people into a space and make them feel like they all have to be the same,
Yep.
because it's only the sameness that you are going to reward because that you treat everybody the same? Or instead, bring people in your team together by acknowledging the fact that they're all different, and you love their differences and you respect their
Yeah.
differences.
And you're taking time to understand the different motivations, the different skills, the different goals, the different tasks on a person's mind. We can even use as for the example, recognition for a job done well.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, well, Justin would love a great public shout out. So I'll roll out the parade for all of my 5 team members. But there's at least one person on the team is like, no, don't do this.
Please don't.
It's mortifying to me and my personality. Or I've been talking to you and trying to hint as much as possible the last 3 one-on-one check-ins that we had, that I'm worried about tension and maybe some competition happening between me and this other coworker. So when you shout me out, I feel like I'm being made a target. And I think the part of the differentiating recognition is one thing that we're talking about. But behind that, even the example I just gave is whatever you can do to have increased one-on-ones. Whenever you
Yeah.
work with people like, I just don't have time. Going back to what Deanna said, I don't know in the next 5 years with technological advances available to us, what we'll be able to do better with our time than to have those human relationships. Because when I have, whether it's a 30-minute check in, or it's a 15-minute just drop in, or it's 5 minutes, or it's 1 minute, whatever I can do to start to kind of feel out and parse out, this is the person who would like this kind of recognition. This person would like the exact opposite. This person will never speak up in a meeting, but they will write a brilliant take on the meeting afterwards. Finding all the different ways to activate people. That's what good team leaders do. That's what good leaders in general do. And that's what good humans do, is you
Yeah.
recognize the differences and how to activate the differences. So using team leader, like literal teams. So we'll talk about US American football. How good would any football team be if everyone was a quarterback
I'm gonna
or
assume
if
not
everyone
good.
was
I
a
don't know that
linebacker?
much about football, but I don't think they'd be good, Justin.
No. Think about any group of people who
Right.
are working towards a common goal, whose strength is their differences. They have their different positions, they have their different strengths, they have their differences. And also, I'm like, none of that matters. We will treat everybody the same. We will reward the same things. We'll expect all of you to do the same things. You're losing all these other fantastic gifts and assets at your disposal. So, celebrating and connecting with people on an individual level as much as possible so that you can celebrate them and motivate them to keep being themselves. That is the essence of the platinum rule. And it seems really intimidating and it seems really overwhelming, but Deanna, you always love to remind us we're already doing this a lot.
Already doing it. Just think about it, because we are already looking at the relationships that we have in our lives, and we are already, I mean, just literally think about it. Think about any group of people that you are working with, and kind of think about what you do and how you interact with those people. You are already making different changes, right? You aren't treating everybody the same. it goes back again to this word that we use all the time on this podcast, all the time in the trainings that we do. We use a lot in our writing, and it goes back to intentionality. How are you with intention? So you're already doing it. I guarantee you. Just if you even sat for just 1 minute, close your eyes, right? Think about any group that you're in. You are already doing this. You are already treating people differently, maybe to different degrees, right? But you're already doing it. If you did it intentionally, and if you did it with an intention to make sure that you were celebrating those differences, what would it look like? What would change? Because if you can answer those questions, that's what puts you and shifts you over to not just doing it kind of haphazardly, but actually shifts you over to being in the platinum role.
Well, thank you for shifting our mindset and for challenging us a bit, Deanna, about the platinum rule and how we can treat each other more fairly by treating each other differently, by personalizing connections that helps everybody advance, achieve, and win. So, thank you for showing up, all of you, and listening to this uplifting conversation on the Platinum Rule. But this Platinum Rule is only one bit of all this, folks, stuff we're working on and concentrating on for the Bridging Leader about how we can transform teams by connecting across differences. And we have the book. We're working on it. We're getting through it. We're learning along with you all, and we're very excited. So head on down to the description and pre-order your copy today. It has so many of your great ideas, questions, recommendations, things that we've been learning alongside you. And we'd love for you all to continue that journey. So go on down to the description, click on the links there, and pre-order your copy today. And show up next time around for the next episode of Uplifting Conversations. I've been Justin.
And I'm Deanna.
Till next
And we
time.
can't wait to see ya. Take care. Bye.